my hair for years, so. Of course, there's not much there, so.
I was gonna say, yours probably takes what, a second?
It takes a little longer.
Well, it's like done.
So is Elizabeth out of town for the summer, or what's the deal?
No idea.
So you've been keeping busy?
Well, I think she does have a plate too, so with the fair and all,
Yeah.
I would imagine so.
I got the notes. Yeah. So you've been keeping pretty busy, haven't you?
We had PBSs at church, busy at work, busy with my children.
Probably haven't met my daughter-in-law yet, Danielle.
I will
Harden.
on Wednesday when we have our greeting service.
Okay.
There she is.
Oh, oh. Speaking to the devil, there she is. No. How you been, Elizabeth? Yeah. Look like summer's treating you well.
I told her. I wonder what she's gonna do. I'm not sure. With my guess is that she was at the ferry and
So what'd you do at fair then?
remember she was picked by UEC to go
Right.
to the Washington DC trip.
You enjoy that? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
When I worked for UEC, I wish they would have picked, because I think now they have let somebody from UEC go and it's very popular. That wasn't the case when we actually
There's a lot to see there.
Oh, yeah.
when I was there. And so for me,
About time you think you've seen it all.
when
You
I
haven't.
started at school, it was like 1,500 people came to me. It was like trying to get them excited to go because not that many people apply. Do they that many apply? Yeah, I know. I went to Felix, I went to Pilot Rock, near the Bridgewater. Yeah. I don't know if it was just hard to believe that there were really no strings attached. Other than going to one meeting, I mean, yeah, I thought, and it could have changed because they also were wanting the students to be at the annual meeting until next year. And so I thought that was, yeah,
Another water?
No, I'm good.
that's great. I'm proud of you. I wish I would have been there. But I'm excited.
Not me.
Excited.
August 22nd, 2022. If you're just now joining us, we had a work session earlier where we were able to go tour the new City Hall. That's almost complete, so it was nice. If you missed it, we're planning on having an opening somewhere in October-ish. I just gave you a whole month. How about that? All right, so we have a declaration of a quorum, all members present. Please join me in the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. It's good to see you all this evening. Any changes that we need to make, Mr. Smith? No. So we're at the first opportunity for citizen input. So if you would like to address the council about items that are not on our agenda, please come up to the microphone up front, introduce yourself by name and address, and direct your comments to me, and trying to limit them to less than 5 minutes. Welcome. Press the button. There you go.
Is that better?
Better.
All right. My name is Kim Rill. I'm a citizen of Echo, 15 Smith Drive, Echo, Oregon. Here representing just an event that we chose to do in Hermiston. So September 10th is World Suicide Prevention Day. And after a tragic loss in myself and Josh's personal lives, amongst many others in the regional community, we decided to put together a walk at Oxbow Trail on World Suicide Prevention Day. It's a remembrance walk, and we've got the permit from Oxbow Trail. Just wanted to loop in the council and really just invite you all to participate, attend, support it however you can. It's an event focused on warning signs and prevention of suicide. We're going to put some positive messages along the trail, some different posters. We've looped in Rivercrest Behavioral Health to have clinical psychologists on site, answer questions, talk about prevention, those kinds of things. We'll have some free resources through the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention as well, some grab-and-go swag items, really, talking about prevention. Walchley Farms has decided to provide sliced watermelon at the end. It's going to be September, but still probably warm, knowing Hermiston, and so we'll have some refreshments afterwards. Good Shepherd has shared with their employees and will be promoting it through their channels as well. So really just wanted to invite the council, share that information. Again, it's September 10th at 9 a.m. Any way that the city could support, I'm happy to share Facebook information. I brought a stack of posters as well, so if you guys want to include that in all of your office locations, that would be very meaningful for us.
Awesome. What a great idea. Kimberly, thank you for coming tonight. Appreciate seeing you again. It's been a while since we had you standing at that podium.
It has
to the
been a
council,
while.
so
Yeah, no, it's good.
Good to
It's
see
kind
you
of like
back.
coming home.
So that's September 10th, 9 a.m.
Yep.
Prevent Suicide Walk.
Yep.
And that's on National Suicide Awareness Day.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's a Saturday.
It is a Saturday
Okay, and we're going to meet where?
at Oxbow Trail,
Which part?
at the Elm Extension
Okay.
side.
Right across from
And-
the hall.
Yep.
Maybe right across from somebody's office. up
Yeah,
there.
somebody, I don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you want to leave us posters, I'll make
Cool.
sure they get
You got it.
posted. I'd be happy to put one up in my office too.
Thank
so,
you. And-
yeah.
Perfect. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll do that. I guess I should include, I contacted the chamber and they are hoping to put on the Hermiston Live calendar as well.
Awesome.
So
Is there a fundraising effort or anything?
So,
Donation dollars?
it's maybe in progress. I asked the psychologist at Rivercrest if they could suggest a local beneficiary if we wanted to raise some funds, and I haven't heard back from them on exactly what that is yet, but I'm hoping to before the event, and then we'll share out what that looks like.
Perfect. Counselor?
No, it's just free. Yep.
Counselor Duran?
Have you considered, you talked about having signs throughout the trail. Have you considered maybe also having some in Spanish?
No, thank you. I will work on that.
Okay, I can assist. if
I
you
would
like.
love that. Perfect. Then yes, we will have it. We'll get you the resources if you could translate them. That'd be awesome. Thank you.
Have you spoken to the school district as well about including youth?
I bet I could contact that same person and get some information through the school district as
Yeah.
well. Thank you. Any other questions?
What an awesome idea.
Thank
you
you.
for coming and talking about it. We'll look forward to it.
Yep, appreciate it.
Any other public comment this evening? All right, seeing none, we're going to move on to consent agenda items, A through F. Do we need to pull any of those, council? Seeing none, any public comment on consent agenda items A through F? Seeing none, can I get a motion to approve consent agenda items A through F as presented?
So moved.
Laura, you want a second? It's been moved by Councilor Primer, seconded by Councilor Davis to approve consent agenda items A through F as presented. Roll call.
Yes.
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 Motion passes unanimously. No items were removed. We're on to ordinances and resolutions. Adoption of Resolution 2236 IGA with City of Echo for IT services. Mr. Smith.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. As I mentioned a few meetings ago, we had been working on an agreement with the City of Echo. Wanted to highlight that this is a slightly different agreement than we did with the other more kind of the larger jurisdictions. Echo wasn't sure how many hours they would need and was more interested in kind of some maybe backup support, and so we've entered into that kind of agreement. They've also asked our staff to come down as part of this agreement and kind of assess their system because they really haven't had a lot of professional assistance with their IT services in the past. So this will basically, whenever they ask us to come, it'll be $150 an hour, which is a little bit more expensive than the standard contracts we've done with the others. It's already been approved by the council in the City of Echo, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Questions, council? So that first initial assessment, that's paid?
Well, they would pay us for that time, yes.
Any other questions? Any public comment? Can I get a motion to approve Resolution 2236?
So moved.
So move. Second.
Been moved by Councilor Primer, seconded by
Council Durham.
Was it Duran? Councilor Duran. Roll call.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously. We're on to other business, July 2022 financial report. Mr. Smith.
Yes, I'll turn this over to Mr. Kay.
Mr. Kay, welcome.
Good evening. Thank you for having me. Want to start off with some really good news. Today we received our second tranche of ARPA funding of approximately $1,947,000 in the bank. So the pundits were right. We got the money in August. It was due in June, but it's better than not getting it at all. Turn on and then go. So I always start off with the Urban Renewal Agency. You'll see that there is no money collected in property taxes or other for the month. Normally what you would see there is some dribble of property tax revenue, but we've been apprised by the county that their practice in the past where they would, at the end of the prior month, send what they had, they've changed their practice. They now will send us money on the 5th of the following month. So we have no property tax revenue this month either in the Urban Renewal Agency or for the city in property tax revenue. They've just slowed it down by about 10 days, and that will be the new model going forward, except in November. Then they'll deposit the money weekly through that month because that's our biggest revenue month for property tax. It's a one-time impact affecting revenue, not a big consequence this time of year. If they did this in November, I'd be upset, but that's not going to be the case. So they're sitting pretty, hadn't spent any money, no money came in. In the general fund, we got a positive variance on revenue generation of $433,000. This is versus projected, and I confided in City Manager Smith that trying to look at our model with 2 years of COVID impacts and guessing a good number of what it's going to be, I erred on the side of being too conservative. This is probably the first example of my conservative estimates of revenue for the month. So I'm going to continue to look at the model by month as we go through the beginning months of the year and see if I can't fine-tune it a little bit. But that's just, again, a projection based on 3 years of history, and I'm hopeful that we will get better at it as the year goes on. So that's good. We're above what we projected for the month. On the expense side, we're actually below for the month, about 9%, and that's basically due to some what we call period 13 adjustments. There's 12 months in the year that you incur expenses. Before you close the books for the prior fiscal year, you have a period 13 where any payments come in July that are for the prior fiscal year, we put them back in that fiscal year. So there's probably an effect of some of the dollars paid out in July have been moved to period 13 that results in the $132,000 below projected. We properly classify the expense in the period in which it's earned. So that accounts for some of that. Otherwise, we did a great job of projecting where we'd be on our expenses. Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Kay, can I ask you to adjust that graph? We're probably never going to not spend any money, so you probably don't need to have a zero or go down that low. When I look at the graph up above, you know, the numbers are just different. So it just kind of looks like a flat line almost. So I'm wondering, you know, you only got $300,000 in difference between your high month and your low month. Maybe you expand that so it looks
I'll be glad to.
something. Yeah, thank you.
It's just the way the software works, but I'll monkey with it and make
Okay,
it look better.
appreciate it.
Okay. Well, Mark, you didn't turn it off, I know that. These are the details of the general fund departments. A couple of things that stand out as far as higher expenses. It's a positive reason. One is in the pool operations and one is in recreation. Recreation has the $200,000 grant that Mr. Arts was kind enough to go get for the city, and they're spending it above projected. And the pool had record revenues for the month of July. They've basically collected 64% of the projected revenue for the whole fiscal year in July. There's been a high volume use, and with high volume activity, you have higher expenses, basically due to paying people to be lifeguards and serving those folks that are in great numbers. Nothing significant here. Again, this is based on 3 years' experience that I'm going to be concerned about them a little bit as we go forward, but it's the first month of the year. We have a lot of opportunities ahead in the months ahead. So the general fund balance at the end of June is approximately $3.5 million with some change, which is 1.57 times the new minimum reserve. The new minimum reserve now is $2,254,700, which is 15% of our prior year general fund expenses in total. And that number will keep rising through the years because there's going to be increased costs, and we will spend more money out of the general fund, if for no other reason than inflation and other factors that affect the cost of doing business. That 2.254 or 264 is based on revenues of just over, or expenses just over $15 million for the year. Here are the utility and street funds report. Street fund, the resources. Again, this is a monthly average. We just divide their expenses by 12. I know that the street fund got their money on time. They're just a little bit below. That'll catch up over time. The utility fund is in good shape. HES, a little bit of a blip in July for their usage as far as resources. They're controlling their expenditures very well. Regional water, even though we did make allowance for the loss of shares in the potable water piece, they're still down on usage on the non-potable. That probably will carry through the year because the non-potable is something that we were not going to think we have a problem with, but there's a little blip somewhere in July. Haven't figured out yet what might have been the problem. And then we come up to our CWIP. I've tried to make information available that has meaning to you. You'll notice under well number 6, backup generator, it's all bolded and highlighted for that update of that particular project. There's basically been no change in the other projects on the calendar there. The idea is direct your attention to what's happened. In this case, delivery and installation is on track for the winter to get this done on the well number 6 backup generator. North First Place, you've seen some things going on with that. The lift station number, I can't read the number from here, it's number 6, reconstruction. Contractors mobilized, is putting some of the equipment on site, getting ready for that over the next 2 months. And then finally, the lift station number 3 upgrade. And I try to make this readable in your report. It's hard to squeeze all this information in where you can see it without a magnifying glass, but I want to be transparent. The critical components of the water investment plant, that's the best that's been going on there. And then we only have one, what I call city capital project. It's new city hall. The airport apron is done. The playground equipment out at Riverfront is pretty much a done deal. We're not going to be spending any more money out there. So this is all we have to report on for the city capital projects. Notice it's almost 94% complete. As we saw tonight, I think we have a pretty good product for what's been spent so far. I would commend City Manager Smith for riding herd on that whole project. And with that, I'd be glad to stand for any questions.
Council, any questions of the financial report? Seeing none, thank you, Mr. Kay.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council.
Any public comment about July 2022 financial report? Seeing none, can I get a motion to accept the financial report as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Been moved by Councilor Harden, second by Councilor Davis, that we accept the financial report for July 2022 as presented. Roll call.
Yes.
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 Motion passes unanimously. Committee reports. Does anybody have any? It's summertime, right? Right.
Yeah, we had a fair in the rodeo, so you have to meet this month, but we will this upcoming month.
Yeah. So no committee reports? All right. On to the mayor's report. Thank you, Doug, for filling in for me last meeting.
No problem.
Hopefully you did a good job. I got some questionable reports from some of the other counselors. So.
Okay.
It was somebody's birthday, I heard, too.
It was.
The night before, I think, the birthday.
Was it?
It was-
You guys sang him happy birthday, right?
No.
You wouldn't allow it? Huh.
Rank has its privileges.
What's that? Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Late birthdays?
Yes, Councilor Brown already brought it up. I want to thank all of you and all of the community members for participating in the Fair and Rodeo. From reports, it sounds like everything went off well, and the community did a good job representing itself again, so thank you to everyone that participated in that. As far as the League of Cities, there is a homeless conversation. They're doing a presentation, I think, September 17th, 18th, 19th, 19th. It's Monday? It's a Monday here. Yeah, LOC is putting on 5 or 6 community conversations for homelessness advice. And so Hermiston is hosting one of those at the community center. I believe it's Monday, September 19th. I don't know the hours of that yet, but hopefully Mr. Smith can get that out to you all if that's something that you can put on your schedule. It'd be great to attend and listen, since we're kind of working through that ourselves right now as well. We have a upcoming LOC board meeting where we'll be, I think, finalizing the strategic plan. So we've been working this last 8 months on a strategic plan for a 5-year plan for the LOC. And so hopefully we'll be finalizing that this Friday, and you should be seeing that as part of information going forward from the LOC. And they also just confirmed their executive director process. As you guys are probably aware, they lost their executive director this last year. We have an interim, Patty Mulvihill, which most of you know has been filling in. So they're now out in the recruitment process, so that'll be coming out soon as well. How about counselors? Any other reports? Yeah, Counselor Davis? You talk about your retirement? Congratulations. Yes.
I did the Melon Fest on Saturday, and I was invited to be a judge at the watermelon costume contest with Lily and I and a couple other gals. It was really fun. It was a really good event.
Good. And that was hosted by
Downtown Association.
Downtown Association. Well, thank you to the Downtown Association for putting that on.
I also attended the city picnic last Thursday night, and it was very nice. And once again, seemed like a big crowd. And Lily, once again, was very helpful and outstanding. And her counterpart, Crystal, they did a great job.
Thank you, Lily and Crystal. Other council reports? Council Primer?
So, as it was brought up here a little bit ago, at the last council session, an audience member brought forward some information that was not given the opportunity to move forward on. So, in the interest of fairness, I would like to acknowledge that, and also in the interest of fairness, I'd like to wish her a happy birthday since it is today.
Oh, well, happy birthday.
Touche.
Yeah.
No age is given, huh?
I'm going to pay for that.
Yeah. Councilor Peterson.
So I was able to make it out to the fair, and it looks like we had a pretty good turnout. I was volunteering with the Lions Club booth. My youngest gaffer had my youngest son out there with me, and I just have a word of advice. And it's strange that I know this now. Never carry a funnel cake that's doused with powdered sugar in the wind. You will look like you've been through a snowstorm by the time you get to where you're going. And just take my advice on that. Don't learn the hard way. It was hilarious, but it was very messy. So powdered sugar and no, just don't do it. We were right across from the thing, and I was just from top to bottom,
White.
snow flurries.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, word to
Yes.
the wise.
Councilor Myers.
All of the counselors that showed up for our council duties during the fair. There's quite a number of things that we do, and we had a good turnout at almost everything that we did.
Awesome.
Ice cream party, fair parade, watermelon fest, this fest, that fest, we were all there.
Good job, council.
Some of us might have been on
But others? Councilor Spicer-Coon?
I just wanted to announce that this week on the 25th, Umatilla Morrow County Head Start is having the grand opening for their new Hermiston Early Learning Center. That will be that's in the old Eagles Lodge. And so it'll be the Kathy Walmsley Early Learning Center.
Oh, wow.
And the
Appropriate.
grand opening will be on the 25th from 1 to 3:30.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Very good. That's appropriate.
Good use of a building that
Reuse, yeah.
was downtown, and now it's been all remodeled. And
Yeah, super excited to see that they repurposed that facility and get to see some young folks kind of go through that building. Yes, Councilor Peterson?
Of young folks, and I'm sure some of our youth advisors know this. You're like what? But the high school is having their open house for students Thursday at 6 o'clock. I know because I will be there with my kiddo. So it's like, yes, it's that time again. Yeah. So just a heads up on that. I can smell the crayons from here. I'm so excited. Yeah.
I did get an email today, too, from the school district about a ribbon cutting ceremony for the new schools. August 30th and 31st. So August 30th at 6 o'clock at Rocky and 31st at Loma Vista at 6 o'clock. So
Yes.
if you guys can make it, that'd be great. I would hope we get tours when we go out there, too, because I'm looking forward to walking through those new facilities as well. Any other council reports? Yes, Councilor Drum?
Well, I want to give a shout out to the Parks and Recs Department. I think they've done a fantastic job, in creating activities, a safe place for students to be during the summer. For some of the parents that still continue to work over the summer, it was nice to see, some kids, engaged in some activities if they were not involved in the Hermiston School District summer program. So thank you, and we saw, how your numbers were way higher. So that's kudos to you and all the folks involved. I know that you were busy hiring over, to have lifeguards and all kinds of other employees to provide these services to our community. So thank you for that. And I do have the dates and the times for the open house. Middle school will have their open houses. That would be Armand and Sandstone on Thursday, August 25th from 5:30 to 6:30. The high school will have theirs the same night. It'll be from 6 to 7:30 p.m. And the following week, August 31st, sorry, it's also the time when all elementary schools will have their open house from 3:30 to 7:30 p.m. That's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Perfect. Yeah, school is starting up here pretty soon, so be on the watch out for little guys walking around in neighborhoods. Be careful out on the street, looking out for them. And so hopefully they get off to a good start to their school year. Youth advisors, speaking of our youth, do you guys have any comments? Ready for school to start? How about comments about the fair? Ms. Doherty?
I don't have many specific comments other than everything went smoothly. The livestock auction was very good this
Another
year.
record?
All the prices
Yeah, I heard.
around the
Another
board
record.
were
Yeah.
extremely high. So from that standpoint, it was a very good year.
Yeah.
Hopefully it continues next year.
Yeah. Very good. Anything else, Julissa or Emmanuel? Yeah?
Oh, it does work. Okay. Sorry, I was testing it earlier and it wasn't making any noise. And I was like, So we've started pack leader training again, which is good because that means that we're getting ourselves prepared for welcoming new 9th graders. 9th grade orientation is going to be Friday morning, which is different from open house the day before, but it is going to be Friday morning starting at 8:45, 8:30. We will be making out calls to our quote-unquote packs, like our group of kids that we're going to be leading throughout the school. We're going to be making calls starting today till Wednesday at 7 p.m. And we're hoping for a good amount of kids to show up. We're not sure how many are going to be able to go because of like, oh, I have to take care of my siblings or I have work. So we really don't know right now. But fingers crossed, it's a lot of people. And yeah, there's one more pack leader training for this week. And so far, it's looking pretty good. We have 51 people who are interested in helping out the 9th graders. And we're all pretty excited for school to start again because we're going to get to see our friends. We're going to It just turned off. But yeah, I feel like this year is going to be different from last year. Last year it felt really sluggish.
Yep. Might just borrow Elizabeth's microphone.
Should I? I'm gonna. Last year felt really louder. Last year felt very sluggish. It felt very emotionally heavy. But this year, it feels lighter. Like there isn't as much stress in the air from everyone. A lot of people that I've talked to have been like, oh wow, school is starting again, and we've actually got a head start this time, and we know what we're gonna do. So it's starting out nice, especially since it hasn't even started yet. So that's it.
Okay, perfect. Fall sports have started? Practices? Yeah?
Tryouts?
Yeah. Okay.
Tryouts.
And well, did you have something?
So with like, since we don't have to wear masks anymore, just because we don't have to wear a mask anymore, if you're sick, put on a mask. Like there's a lot of people that complain about it, and I know, but like if you're sick, even if it's just a light flu, it's fine. Just wear a mask, and it's gonna be fine. No one's gonna point it out anymore because everybody wore it last time. And there might be some people, but like if you're gonna wear it for like maybe a few days because that's how long you might be sick, and you can just take it off afterwards. You don't. So I'm just saying, like, just wear a mask, and because since we're all like crowded in the school, so we might get sick very easily. It'd be a nice gesture just to put one on if you're sick. So.
Good. Very thoughtful. Yep. All right, Ms. Smith.
Well, you already brought up the items that I was going to remind as far as the school open houses, as far as the tours of Rocky and Loma Vista. So I have no other items.
Okay. We do have a executive session this evening, so we are going to recess our regular city council meeting and go into executive session. The City Council of the City of Hermiston will now meet in executive session in the Rotary Altrusa Room for the purpose of discussing matters pertaining to the review and evaluation of employment-related performance of City Manager Byron D. Smith. The executive session is held pursuant to ORS 192.6602I, which allows the council to meet in executive session to review and evaluate pursuant to standards, criteria, and policy directives adopted by the governing body, the employment-related performance of the chief executive officer of any public body, a public officer, employee, or staff member, unless the person whose performance is being reviewed and evaluated requests an open hearing. Representatives of the news media and designated staff shall be allowed to attend the executive session. All other members of the audience are excluded. Representatives of the news media are specifically directed not to report on any of the deliberations during the executive session except to state the general subject of the session as previously announced. No final decisions may be made in executive session. At the end of the executive session, the council will return to open session with the audience may attend. The executive session will last approximately 15 minutes. All right, we are going to reconvene the regular city council meeting to consider and approve city manager, Amendment 8 to city manager employment agreement as presented. Any comments, Mr. Smith? Do we need to walk through this, Richard, about what we're doing or what's being proposed? The amendments?
I think at this point, as we have the Amendment 8 to the contract, and then if there is, I guess, to amend, then we can take that up.
Okay. So currently, the two changes that are listed on this amendment are to extend the contract a year and to change the automobile use allowance from $350 a month to $450 a month. I would consider any recommendations, any comments.
I would like to make a motion that we amend the amended Section 8.
Okay. So your amendment to the amendment
Correct.
would be what? What are you wanting to add into that?
To give the city manager an increase in his wages.
Okay.
In the contract by
$5,000.
$5,000.
$5,000, okay. Okay, it's been moved by Ms. Myers, seconded by Ms. Davis, that we approve Amendment 8 to City Manager's Employment Agreement with an additional amendment to increase the salary by $5,000 annually. Is that accurate?
Correct.
Okay, did I do it okay, Mr. Tubby? Okay. Any public comment on the amendment? Nothing? Okay. Roll call.
Yes.
Generally speaking, I mean, we've had some discussion that we haven't discussed here, and
Yep.
let our constituents know why we're increasing.
Absolutely.
I think it would behoove us to let them know that we reviewed his contract from last year. We think this has been a very good year for the city. A lot of our goals and a lot of what we've forward. And I think a lot of that goes to Mr. Smith's direction and the way he's taken the city and what he's done.
Okay. We're actually in roll call. We stopped at Mr. Spicer Kuhn.
Yes. Well,
Yes.
Did you say yes? I thought I heard you. I'm sorry. Counselor Peterson?
Yes.
Okay. Counselor Primer?
Yes.
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 Motion passes. I will echo Mr. Spicer Kuhn's comments. You know, we evaluate the city manager each year, and we individually evaluate him based on his performance and meeting certain criteria that we've set forth. And these are the highest grades you've received to this point in the 8 years that you've been here. He also did a 360-degree survey, which he was ranked very highly by his peers, his employees, his community members, the council. So a glowing year, and I'm super excited that we get to work with you every day, and the effort and work that you're putting forward and the leadership you're providing this organization. And I said this before, but you know, people ask me all the time, you know, why you do mayor, or you know, how can you do mayor? And it's because we've got a great organization that we work for, and a lot of that has to do with the leadership that you're providing. And so appreciate all the effort and work that you're putting in for the constituents of the city of Hermiston. So thank you. Any other comments from councilors? Yes, Mr. Ron?
I would like to echo what you said, but I also would like to acknowledge the fact that we also have great staff within the city. And also, you know, what the city has been able to accomplish is thanks to the work from all of the employees that made things possible. But certainly appreciate your leadership because you help oversee the departments. But honestly, we're very fortunate to have hardworking people working for the city.
Very good. Other comment? All right. Mr. Smith, any comment?
Yeah, thank you. I thank you very much. I appreciate all of your feedback. I'm grateful for the year that we've had. It's been a good year. We've been doing a lot of things, and it doesn't look like things are slowing down. So Looks fun and it looks exciting ahead, so thank you very much, and I look forward to continue to work for the City of Hermiston.
Right on. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, we look forward to another great year of Mr. Smith's leadership as our city manager. All right, we are adjourned.